Today is Wednesday, March the 18th, and it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this video out, but McClellan just updated the McClellan oscillator like 15 minutes ago. I've never seen the data take this long to come out. Couple of important things happened today. So first, let's look at advancers and decliners. 10 to 1, so 9 to 1 in terms of decliners. Huge volume again. This only registers up to 2, so we should be looking at the real volume and comparing it to prior day, and we can do that by looking right here. So the prior volume today was just under 2 billion shares, pretty much the same volume as yesterday, but more volume than a week ago. And you can see the advancers, 133 million to 1.7 billion. Pretty much the reverse of yesterday. This is the comment that got everybody going, and that was 14 hours ago. So that takes us to 8 in the morning. So at 8 in the morning, Bill Ackman says that, sorry, I got the wrong screen capture there. So let's take a look. Bill Ackman says, that we should shut the government down. And caused Trump to have to go to the podium and respond to it. And then he was on CNBC all morning. So if we look at the FinViz and the trading during the day, well, let's take a look at the ES instead. And you can see that we were starting to move up, and then I presume that it was the negativity of what Ackman said starting to sink in and him starting to appear on TV. And then the market just tanked, and somebody made the comment that we may have seen our low. Ackman may have put in the low by raising this panic and then saying that this is the best buying time in history and that they are buying. So his last tweet says, to clarify, I'm confident, blah, blah, blah. That is why we are buying stocks. These are bargains of a lifetime if we manage this crisis correctly. Stock market breadth, the oscillator dropped, but I'm going to show you on our other chart. Of course, the Dow also dropped. I'm going to show you on our other chart what's happening here. So this is the McClellan oscillator and the Dow Jones in blue. McClellan oscillator, with the exception of this point, we've got a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, which would indicate that the bulls are pushing hard and buying at the bottom. These three here are what we have to get above, and if we can do that over the next few days. But let's look at the summation index, which is our long-term thing, and we've come down now below 2200. In fact, today's reading was 2275 negative. If you look back on December 2018, it was 2258, and we just reversed from there. So this was the low, and this was the summation index. Yes, we have had lower summation indexes. We've had down to 4,000. Here's another one, 28. So yeah, we can go lower, but I'm thinking that we might see a little bit of a bounce tomorrow. We're not seeing it yet. We're seeing it a little bit in the overnight futures that went up to, above the Globex low, right up to the 50% Fibonacci line of the daily move, and then took a drop. So let's look at now the charts, and there's some interesting things to see in the charts. First of all, the SPX. It managed to hold, this is a weekly, so it's managed on the week to hold the 38.2% pullback. The next level we see is 50%, or this support area right here. This where it was at support 1, 2, 3 times. That would be a test at 2131, but so far we're staying above the 38.2. If we get below that, then we're going down to 2130. Apple had an up day. Apple reversed during the day, and so did Amazon. So that's Apple for the week. Let's look at Apple for the day. And you can see that it did drop, and then it reversed to close up near its high. It's oversold on both stochastics. Now, I've changed the stochastics because I tweeted Anne-Marie Bain, who goes on Twitter as Anne-Marie Trades, and she's the one who designed these two stochastics, the 40 and the 14. But she suggested, because I said, this market is moving so fast, are these indicator numbers right? Should we be looking at 40 and 14? And she said, try 20 and 6. So here's Apple for 20 and 6. And you can see that we are oversold and due for a bounce in Apple. On the weekly chart, however, we're not. On the short term, we're due for a bounce, but on the long term, we could see a further drop. Now, it doesn't mean it has to drop to the bottom. We can look back here and see all throughout 2017, Apple never really dropped much below the overbought line, and it could stay there if this faster moving one turns around. So take a close look. Apple might be at a bottom. Let's look at its Fibonacci's. Let's just pop in a Fibonacci here, retracement. And let's take its high, which wasn't all that long ago. This is the most recent wave. And we've come back, we've done about 50%. Now here, it's important where you put your point. So we had a lot of values right in here and only 2 below it. So if we put our marker there to take advantage of the averages of this range in here, look at that, we hit 50% and we bounced. Apple could be due for a nice little reversal and an opportunity to buy. Keep an eye on it tomorrow. So is Amazon going to save the world? Are they the only people that are going to be able to deliver to your door while we're quarantined for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, 2 months? Amazon deeply oversold. Now this is using the 40 and the 12. Deeply oversold. I'm not going to change all of mine to the 20 and the 6 until I get another response from Anne-Marie. But you can see that this was a nice pop. I mean, you shouldn't be selling Amazon. They're not going to be hurt by this. Walmart as well. Walmart had a big day today. Walmart was red. When you look at FinViz, you don't see an awful lot that was green, but Walmart and Amazon were green. And UPS, of course, doing all the delivery for these people because people aren't going to be going out. So why wasn't Home Depot up? Maybe people aren't going to be buying home renovation stuff, but that certainly says that they're not going to be buying, this says they're not going to be buying white goods, dishwashers, washing machines, countertops, and so on. So Whirlpool is going to continue to suffer until people actually go into the stores, because not a lot of people buy these things from Amazon. They actually buy them from Lowe's and Home Depot. I was in Lowe's yesterday and the day before. I'm not going out anymore, but Home Depot was, Lowe's was fairly busy. Coca-Cola, people need their Coke, and they've been stocking up on Coke. I haven't checked the aisles for Coke, but toilet paper is out, cereals are out, meats are out, chicken is out, but Coca-Cola is probably being bought as well. The market's going a little bit lower as we speak. Caterpillar had an up day today, just by a little bit. Actually $2.40. It's not bad at all. It was down to $93 at one point, and it ended up, well, this is the overnight trading, up to 102.60, but it ended the day at 119, so it was up about, I think, 80 cents. But in extended hours, we're up to 102.60. Hitting on 10 minutes now. I don't want to go any longer. Let's just take a quick look at the VIX. And the VIX, let's look at it on a weekly basis. We are right up there with the best of times in 2008 and 2009. But as you know from that time, we can spend a lot of time up there and cycle up and down, and that is likely what's going to happen. But we may see a short term, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 days of increasingly high VIX. And we go back here, 4 weeks of increasingly high VIX. And here, back here, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks it took to hit the peak. Sort of a split message, but it wouldn't hurt to be buying some stuff here. If we're down a little bit tomorrow, I will buy a little bit more Home Depot. And today I did buy more of my AGNC preferred shares that have a face value of $25, and they're going for under $10. So they are paying a dividend. Ex-dividend is the end of the month. So you can buy the stock right now, and it'll pay you a 14% dividend in your bank account in the middle of April. That's AGNCP and AGNCN. And if you look at tip ranks, they were both Wedbush and Nomura both upgraded AGNC, saying that they managed the 2008 crisis very well, and they're going to manage this one just as well, and they probably are well protected. And now with the government announcing that they're going to be buying mortgages, AGNC has a place to sell their mortgages to, and that's what they do. They buy government-backed mortgage securities. So that's it for today. Let's hope we get a bit of a reprieve tomorrow.